Hey everyone, it's Pete Jong here with Remax Professionals with a market update for Calgary, March 2024. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go into the past a little bit and talk about what's happened over the last 4 years. And then we're going to talk about what's going on today. And then I'm going to peer into my crystal ball a little bit and see if I can tell you what's going to happen in the next couple of years. If we go back 4 years ago, back to 2021, the average price in Calgary was just over 500,000 at the time. It was like 502,500 or something like that. In 2022, it took a pretty big jump, and the average, this is not average price, this is benchmark price for a detached home. So it went from 500,000 up to nearly 600,000. In 2022, we hit 596,400. So a pretty substantial jump between 2021 and 2022. In 2023, it went up a bit more. The benchmark price for a detached home at that time was 636,000, so it went up another 40,000. And then in February of 2024, it hit $721,300. So we've seen some pretty substantial price increases over the last 4 years. So here's what's going on here's what happened in February versus February of last year. Sales increased pretty dramatically, almost 25%. It's up about 23% over February of last year. And good news is inventory, or at least new listings, I shouldn't say inventory, new listings went up a little bit too. They went up about 14%. Now, of course, when listings go up 14% and sales go up nearly 25%, we're still going to have a drop in inventory, which is still increasingly a bigger problem for buyers. I heard a stat a while back. I have no idea how to substantiate this, but there's something like 9 people moving into the city for every house being built. And when I see what the market's doing, it does seem to back that idea up. So sales increased by 25%, just about. New listings up about 14%. Inventory dropped by about 14% because sales were still outpacing new listings, which means our months of supply is just over a month. It's actually 1.1 months of supply. And if you remember last year, if you watched any of my market updates last year, I was complaining about low inventory all year when we had about a 2-month supply. Now we're down to just over a month. I don't know how long that's going to last. That could actually come to a month or even less soon as well. So we're seeing some pretty good price increases across the market. Detached and half duplexes are both up around 13%. Townhouses are up about 19%, and apartments are up about 17%. So again, it's always the lower end of the market that's experiencing the best, or at least the biggest increases in prices and stuff like that. So even within those markets, like if you look at the condo market, for example, the condos between 200,000 and 300,000, you're seeing an absorption rate over the last 3 weeks of over 100%, like 108, 110% week over week. And eventually that price range is just going to disappear, I think, the way things are going. But then you get to condos that are priced over $600,000 and you're seeing an absorption rate of only 17%. So no matter what you're thinking of buying or selling, talk to an agent that actually watches the market a little bit, because you'd hate to go into looking at a condo that's worth $650 and thinking the condo market is crazy, because that's what I keep hearing. It's only the lower end of the market that is. The higher end of the condo market is really not doing that well, especially not compared to the lower end of the market. So if you want to know what's going on in your market, whether it's a market that you're looking to sell in or a market that you're looking to invest in, give me a shout. I'm happy to give you all the information you could ever want. I love doing that. I love overloading people with information, even because I do believe that information is power. And if you want to make good decisions in a crazy market like this, you want to have lots of information and know what's going on. In terms of the future, I don't think anything's going to change for the next year or two anyways. It's going to take a while, and probably some different policies even by governments and things like that to enable inventory to catch up to the amount of demand that we have right now. So I expect prices to continue to escalate in Calgary, at least in the double digits here. At least, can you imagine triple digit? No, I expect price increases to continue in double digits here in Calgary over the next year or two. Something between 10 and 15%. I don't actually have a crystal ball. I don't know the future, but that's what I'm predicting at this point. So if you want to know what's going on in your market, like I said, whether you're buying or selling, get in touch with me. You can call me or text me anytime on my cell at 403-818-7310, or you can email me at pete@280keys.com. I'm always happy to talk real estate. I'm also always happy to talk politics and religion too, by the way, or philosophy. So I'm not afraid to talk about anything, as you can probably tell. Give me a shout. I love to have good conversation over a cup of coffee, whether it's real estate or not. And so I look forward to hearing from you. All right. Thanks so much and have a great day.